can you tell us a little bit about Crowther Roofing in this community and what your role is?
Crowther Roofing's been in this community since 1975, originally from Joliet, Illinois. My role is been there since 1994. I'm the Executive Vice President of Operations and an active member of the Board of Directors.
And how long, you said the company originally started in Illinois. How long have they been in Southwest Florida?
They've been in Southwest Florida since '75. Crowther's actually third generation family-owned business that originated in Joliet, Illinois.
It's great to have such long-term small businesses that are generations of families. Would you say that that has an impact on the atmosphere in Crowther Roofing and how your employees get to know folks and stick around?
Oh, absolutely. Lee Crowther Sr., the owner and founder of the company here in Fort Myers, he treats it as a family business, and he tells almost everyone he comes in contact with that once you come to work for him, that you're not just an employee, you're becoming a part of the family.
And when we spoke on the phone, you told me a little bit about the changes in the workforce over the last few years and how that has impacted Crowther. Can you tell me a little bit about that now?
Mainly when the boom from '04 to '07 came in, there was an abundance of people. Everyone's coming down to get their fair share of the pie. With the recession and the change in the economy, a lot of the construction it slowed down considerably, and a lot of the tradesmen and people that have been in the trades and made careers, not just in roofing but in construction in general, they obviously, as when they came to Florida with the boom, they went to other areas of the country to follow the work. And with that, obviously the workforce was depleted quite a bit, and as work begins to steadily increase, it's been very, very difficult to try to find not just qualified people, but people in general that are willing to come out and do trades. A lot of the generations now are coming in with we call them the techno kids. If it's not a computer or smartphone or something in that avenue, they don't want to do it. And it's really hard to do what we do. It's been kind of said that construction's a dying trade, yet it's essential to our economy and the growth.
Absolutely. And enter the Salvation Army's relationship with Crowther Roofing. Can you tell me a little bit about how you know that got started?
About between 3 and 4 years ago, we were having a hard time trying to find people that we could maintain, and by maintain meaning to get in, teach a trade, and move up within the ranks, because it's a lose-lose situation. If we train someone and 3 months later they're gone because we lose the money, they don't really get anything. So I was talking to our HR director, Miss Lydia Fuste, and when I was working in Louisiana years ago, we used a work release program, which was through the penal service in outside of Baton Rouge. And we just kind of were brainstorming, talking about it, and then she got in her network and everything and got tied up with Miss Demi at Salvation Army. We met, and I think the first time Miss Demi came in, she came in with 25 men that were eager and hungry to learn, and it was something like, okay, maybe this is a one-time deal, but every time, it's the Salvation Army stepped up to the plate and basically produced what we've needed to do to continue to grow.
And so that includes both those large groups, like you call, or Lydia will call Debbie and Zanny 25 men for a project, but it also has translated into a couple of permanent employees who have started working full-time with Crowther, and I believe you said some of them have even moved out of the area and continue to work with your company.
Hold on real quick. And whenever you're ready.
Correct. We have offices
Hold
and
on.
oh.
Sorry. Decided it wanted to just freak out for some strange reason. Have no idea. The wiring, and I think we're getting page field traffic. All right, one more time.
Where were we?
Yeah, we had not only groups of 25 men or so, but a couple of
Right.
positions.
Yeah, we enter into everyone that for the potential to be a permanent position. And we have offices in Sarasota, West Palm Beach, and here locally in Fort Myers. And we have had multiple gentlemen that come out of the center who are home, their families and everything are based in the Sarasota area. We have transferred, whenever they've gotten their release, and transfer them up to Sarasota to work. And we have several that have stayed on and have been with us. Some have been on, close to 3 years, which is almost the entire, longevity of the program. And that's what we're striving for, and obviously it's not for everybody. Roofing is a unique trade, but it has, it's produced, everyone needs a roof. And if you can stick with it and learn it, you have a future in it. And there's been several of the gentlemen out of this program that have seen that. And with all the different avenues that we offer, from AC to trusses to metal roofs to built-up roofs, you name it, we do it. And our goal is to not hold anybody back. And if someone says, hey, I want to try AC, or I'd like to try sheet metal, we do everything we can to put them in position to succeed. And many of them have taken advantage of that situation. It's worked out for both parties.
So you're willing to give them a chance?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We say we don't hold anyone back, and we say what we mean. And if someone wants to better themselves, obviously it becomes a win-win situation. If they better themselves, you have a happy employee that's hungry to grow, hungry to learn, and company wins, employee wins, and at the end of the day, everyone's happy.
What would you say some of the characteristics of Salvation Army referred employees are? I know I hear from some people that it's hard to find folks who are highly motivated to stay in a job, but when your life depends on it, when your family depends on it, if you can't see your kids, if you don't stay employed, things like that, do you find that those characteristics are different among Salvation Army employees? Oh,
absolutely. It's night and day. The gentlemen that come out and refer to it as they're hungry. They've had a point in their life where they made a mistake. They've paid for their mistake, and they're ready to move on, and start their life over. And to say that I haven't been given a second chance, or anyone hadn't been given a second chance, at some point in our lives, we need that second chance. And these gentlemen are, they understand that they made a mistake. It's in the past. It's behind them. They're looking to move forward, to provide for their families, to grow, and to be an active part of the community. And to find that hunger just, off the street is very difficult in today's society. And these guys come out, and they are ready and willing. I mean, every time I talk to them when they come in, I work weekends, Saturdays, nights, 24 hours a day, anything. And I understand, that probably where they are, the job's a better situation, but it's that vigor, that hunger, and it shows in their work ethic.
Before Crowther Roofing was involved with the Salvation Army in this manner, what did you know about what the Salvation Army did in this community?
Be honest with you, very little. I had no idea that they had the program and the availability of the gentleman and the relocation and re-entering into society. It was totally new to me. And when Miss Lydia came to me and told me that she was talking with Salvation Army, and she'd probably tell you this day, I kind of looked at her with a confused look on my face, because I had no idea that was one of the services that was offered.
I'm so sorry, let me turn that off.
When you come back and
So before this partnership, if someone said the Salvation Army to you, what would you think of?
Before the partnership, what I thought about the Salvation Army was providing some services and goods for families and people in need. I had no idea, and I remember when Miss Lydia came to me about that we were going to talk to the Salvation Army about workforce, I had this very confused look on my face, because it was a service I had no idea that was offered from the Salvation Army, and I'm very glad that I've been educated otherwise.
The Salvation Army's mission statement includes that we are a church. We are a Christian organization that aims to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. And that's one thing that really plays out in our corrections program, because we believe that everybody deserves a second chance. What would you say, how has this partnership changed your understanding or really guided your understanding about what the Salvation Army's mission is to transform lives, what that looks like in day-to-day?
Oh, the mission statement is very evident to see the look in these young men's eyes when they come in, to know that they've had the opportunity through an organization like the Salvation Army to be given that second chance. And they know that not everyone gets that second chance, and they are willing, I get, not just out of respect for themselves, but the respect they have for the Salvation Army and what they are doing for each and every one of them, very prominent in each and every one of the men that come through the doors.
How does the Salvation
Salvation makes the community better.
Hold on. And go again.
Salvation Army, in my opinion, makes the community better because it instills the values that I think that are lost outside of organizations like the Salvation Army. There's so much, kids are growing up on their own. Both parents are working. They don't have that structured home like, we used to have, the Leave It to Beaver family, so to speak. And to be able to come in and have that big brother, big sister in a time of need for someone, you don't see that very often anymore. And to have an organization like the Salvation step in and be willing to take a chance on these individuals, there needs to be more of it in society today.
The Salvation Army is, what does that say to you about how you as someone in the community can trust that your donation or your gifts of time, resources, volunteering make a difference, and that you can trust the Salvation Army is going to do the most good with those?
Oh, it says a lot about trust for Salvation Army. Anytime you turn on the news or anything, all you hear are the scams and, to get people to donate for false pretenses that don't exist out there, and, to put either, children or people that are down on their needs and to use them as a pawn for financial gain it's ludicrous. And to be able to say that, for 90 cents of every dollar that's donated, that's bragging rights, and that makes you feel confident that when you do something for the Salvation Army, it's going to where it's supposed to be intended to go to.
Can you re-say that again? 3, 2, 1, go.
The fact in today's society that the Salvation Army gives 90% of every dollar that's offered or donated to them, it's second to none. All you hear, turn on any news, there's scams and, prying on humanity to make a dollar at someone else's expense. People that are less fortunate, down on their luck, and the pride that the Salvation Army gives back to the community to know that your money is going to where it's intended to go to, that's second to none in today's society. I would absolutely.
3, 2, 1, go.
I would absolutely recommend any business in the community, or any community for that matter, to use the resources that the Salvation Army can offer. Like I've said earlier, it's been a win-win situation, and we would be in some very tough times if we have not partnered with the Salvation Army due to the inability to find qualified people that are willing to learn our trades. And there are gentlemen that come through here, they might be coming in to do roofing, but they have backgrounds in computers, anything from A to Z. And it's just getting to know the people when they come in, what their strengths are, so you can utilize those strengths and become a strength for the company.
So if you were to sum it up.
And go.
If I had to convince someone why to give the Salvation Army, I would like to have the opportunity for them to come to work for me one day and go through and let them meet some of these young men that went through some hard times, that didn't have all the luxuries that some of us had as children, and to look them in the eye and see that this is actually a true system that works. And it doesn't just work outside, it works within the individuals that are going through it. They believe in it 100%, and they are the best advocate for the Salvation Army, because it is a real-time, real-life success story to be a part of these gentlemen's lives as they re-enter society.
Can we say that again, please? Stand by in 3, 2 and a half, and go.
If I had to convince someone, what the Salvation Army is doing, the best way I convince them is to to ask them to come to work with me one day and to look in the eyes of these gentlemen that are coming through that aren't just part of the Salvation Army, they're part of a system that they believe in. And to be able to come in when they believe that strong about it and how they talk about it and how they promote it, it's second to none to see that these gentlemen are getting these second chances that, you know, they might not have had the best background, they made a mistake, but to have someone that believes in them and to turn around and give that support back and to welcome it into the community, it's second to none.
So would you say you're proud of?
And go.
Very proud. I'm very proud of the relationship that Crowther Roofing has with the Salvation Army. The only regret that I do have is that we didn't partner up sooner. Construction, the labor force, and to find qualified people to do the jobs, it's a very, very hard task, and we are constantly looking for qualified people to come in that can pass the criteria to get in, you know, with all the OSHA regulations and rules that we have to do. And to have gentlemen just at a phone call to call Miss Demi and I need 5 guys, I need 20 guys, and she brings them in and everything is exactly the way it needs to be. It makes our job as an employer a lot easier, cuts down on our costs, which in turn cuts down the cost to the consumer. And it's just the whole circle. It starts with a good foundation, and the foundation that we have with the Salvation Army is one I look forward to lasting for a long time.
Unfortunately, you say that same thing one more time,
Army Crowther Roofing.
and I am wrong.
I'm very proud of the relationship between Crowther Roofing and the Salvation Army. The only regret I have is that we didn't do it sooner. It made my job as far as trying to find qualified personnel to come do the trade of roofing a lot easier, because the criteria that we have to meet for OSHA and all the rules and regulations, they've already been met through the rigors and the work of the Salvation Army. So they come into us, they're ready to go. And I hope that, well, at least as long as I'm there, I hope that we have a very long-term relationship with the Salvation Army, continue to help each other out and make the community stronger.